At first blush, this problem looks pretty difficult. I have A1, which is 1 over 2 times 5, A2, 1 over 5 times 8, A3, 1 over 8 times 11, and we can presume that pattern continues. So A4 would probably be 1 over, they seem to be jumping up by 3, so 11 times a number that's 3 more than that, okay? So we'll continue that pattern. So the first thing I might do is simply just plug in for the summation that they want, A1 all the way up to A100, which right away should tell you that's too many terms to add up in the time frame of an exam. You're going to have to find a simplification. We're going to be looking for some kind of pattern n simplification. So let's take a look. First, I'm just going to substitute these terms in for the terms in my summation. See if I can see the pattern and potentially the simplification, right? So it's 1 over 2 times 5, 1 over 5 times 8, plus 1 over 8 times 11. And generally when we have the ellipses, the dot, 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 usually they don't give you enough terms to fully show the pattern. So just a hint, you might want to write out a couple more terms than they show to see the pattern more clearly. Unfortunately here, I don't really see the pattern, right? Nothing seems to cancel. I can see we're going 5s, 5s, 8s, 8s, 11s, 11s, but that's not really helping me right away to simplify, which is what I really need to do, because I'm not going to add up 100 terms here. So, what do I do now? Well, they gave me another way to look at each term. It's 1/3 times the first fraction minus that second fraction. So this term would be, in theory, 1/3 times 1 over 5 minus 1 over 8. And I could keep going with each of the terms as we see fit. So what does that work out to be? Let's do that substitution. That's 1/3 times 1/2 minus 1/5 plus 1/3 times 1/5 minus 1/8 plus 1/3 times 1/8 minus 1/11. And I could essentially keep going, okay? Well, does that show me any pattern here that I might be able to work with? Maybe not yet, but I do see something. It looks like I can factor out the 1/3. In every term, I have a factor of 1/3. So I'm going to try and pull this out and pull out 1/3 from the entire summation. And that would leave me these fractions, 1/2 minus 1/5 plus 1/5 minus 1/8 plus 1/8 minus 1/11 plus 1/11. And I'll just keep going on and on and on until my final terms, whatever that might be for A100. Okay, well, now I see a pattern. Minus 1/5 plus 1/5, that cancels. Minus 1/8 plus 1/8 cancels. Minus 1/11 plus 1/11 cancels. In fact, everything's going to cancel up until my very last fraction, that second fraction in the last term. Okay, well, now I just need to figure out what is that last fraction. Well, I can kind of see the pattern here. A1 gives me 1 over 2 times 5, and they're going up by 3s, so it's probably going to be a multiple of 3. 3 times 1 would give me 3. The second number is plus 2. The first number is minus 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 to get an 8, minus 1 to get 5. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 to get 11, minus 1 gives me the 8. Okay, so that would suggest A100 would equal 1 over 3 times 100 plus 2 times 3 times 100 minus 1. Or in other words, that last term, A100, is going to be 1 over 299 is 300 minus 1 times 302, which means really the last fraction here is going to be the 1 over 302. This is going to be 1 over 302, which now simplifies the whole summation. My whole summation of the terms A1 plus A2 plus A3 all the way out to plus A100 becomes 1/3 times the first fraction 1/2. All the fractions in between cancel, and I just subtract that last fraction, 1/302. Wow! Once I see the pattern and just substituted all the terms for the different ways they suggested I could substitute the terms, I not only see the pattern, but I see a monster simplification. Every term in the middle cancels out. Now I just need to figure out what this evaluates to. Well, 1/2 minus 1/3/2, that is a subtraction of fractions. So let's find a common denominator. That's 151/302 with a common denominator of 302 becomes 1/3 times 150 minus 1 is 150/302. 150 divided by 3 just becomes 50/302. And I can divide each by 2. 25 by 151. Now I only have factors of 5 and 25. No factors of 5 and 151, which ends in 1, not a 0 or a 5. This is my final answer. That horrible summation turns out to be 25/151. Again, finding the pattern and then the simplification helps boil this problem down to something easy and manageable.